Budget insurance. Affordable because you can't afford not to.
Hello and welcome to one of the coolest cars that I've ever had the privilege of driving and being inside. This is the Alu-Cab Toyota Hilux Extreme Overlanding Adventure Vehicle. That's not its official title, I just made that up. But stick around because over the next few minutes I'll be taking you through all this car's special features while trying not to fall out of a roof tent. So you start off by buying a bakkie, in this case a new Toyota Hilux with a nice new 2.8 litre engine, and then you go to Alu-Cab and you say, please turn this into a mobile overlanding home for me. And let me give you a tour. Here's the main door. Obviously it's padlocked, so it's nice and safe, very, very secure, and it has an inside latch as well. It's gas operated, so it's not particularly heavy to use. And then the first step to utilizing your extreme overlanding vehicle is to put the steps out. Next step, open the big side panels. Now these are usually locked for safety. We've unlocked them for speed. And these are also gas operated vigorously. There's a wired grid up here, which is super useful for hanging a bunch of things. Kitchen roll, probably the second most important thing after loo paper on a camping trip. Cups and a hose over here. I think that's for the shower. I'll show you that later. And then while we're here, look at that, a 12 kg ice maker. A freaking ice maker. This thing is so impressive. Right, next step. Now I should point out that camping is not my strong point. I think the last time I camped was probably in about standard 6, maybe standard 7. So this is all quite new to me. So you're going to be experiencing this through the eyes of a novice. But let me take you over what they've done to the back of the car here. Removable tow hitch, there's your towing power over there. Water outlet, and this is quite clever so that you can stop theft. You just remove that. 2 cameras. One down here feeds into a new digital rear view mirror, which they fitted in the car. I'll show you that later. That's the original camera, which feeds into the infotainment system. Obviously lots of storage space, and then part of the lighting rig is over here. It's one switch, turns it all on for you. But the first thing you want to do is raise the roof tent, and that will give you more space inside to operate. So let's do that. There's 2 clips. I've undone one of them already. Here's the second one. And let's go. Hey! That was a little bit easier than I expected. Next step, you want to set up your patio. Now, I warn you, dear viewers, there's some entertainment coming here because this is not easy. So, inside here are some spring poles, which and the thing is, this is a bit of a balancing act. There's no real grab handle up here. So, you're kind of left doing this with one hand. I'm sure I'll get better at it over time if I own the car, for instance. But that sort of goes out there, and then you push this into here. There we go. So one this side, one that side, and you've set up your patio. Next step is to start opening up your living space, and you begin by popping this hatch up. Obviously it's gas sprung, everything is gas sprung in this truck. And then from over here you can start operating everything. So there's a big solar panel on the roof, which is feeding all that solar goodness into the inverter and into a big battery as well. It's on a separate grid from the car's main battery. And here's your bank of switches over here. Switch on your ice maker, lots of plugs for your cell phone, all that sort of thing. Even a 3-point plug for whatever it is you need to plug in. Now you may be looking at this area and thinking, Ciro, this looks pretty cramped in here, but watch this. One shove, and look at that. So if you're about as tall as me, or actually even a lot taller, you now have plenty space for activities. So So in here is obviously where you store most of your stuff. 2 huge fridges, one over there, one over there. Actually, one looks like a freezer. Lots of storage area, 2 camping chairs under here. Look how cleverly the water tank is integrated into this. It's really, really impressive. Oh, I need to show you the shower just now, actually, because that's also pretty clever. Toolboxes up there, and then all sorts of little pockets and for all your different little bits and pieces. Oh, some shower gel. Now there's no ladder for the roof tent because you access it from inside the vehicle through a little trap door. And I really like that. You feel very safe in here. Everything's locked up and you're off the ground, away from the creepy crawlies, and you're safe from all the large animals which might want to run over you while you sleep. And then in the morning, you can sit here on your veranda, have a cup of coffee, and admire the view. There's no coffee in here. And here we go, probably the most important part of the Overlander, a nice, comfortable place to sleep after a day of stressing, trying to remember if you've brought the toilet paper and the baked beans and the sunlight liquid and all those things that you wouldn't need if you just went to stay in a hotel. But anyway, you've got this massive bed area. I mean, you could fit easily 2 adults up here. And I mean, it would take you at least 4 or 5 days to get annoyed with your partner. That's how much space there is up here. Right, let's go for a drive. This is so nice. So this is the latest Hilux with the uprated engine. So there's plenty power here to carry the extra load around. I mean, the first thing you're going to notice is that it is heavier, right? I mean, it does feel like there's a load on the back. And you'll also notice that the center of gravity has been affected. There's a lot of weight high up. So yes, it doesn't feel like a normal Hilux. There's also a lift kit on this, but Alu-Cab have gone to great lengths to make sure that the car is as safe and as stable as possible. So it's got fantastic uprated suspension from Old Man Emu, and it has uprated brakes from Powerbrake, so you've got extra stopping power. So I think dynamically, I mean, look, you don't want to do a moose test in this car, but I have taken it up to highway speed and it is really impressively stable and really impressively smooth. There's not much extra noise from the massive 285/70/17 Maxxis tires. They're pretty quiet as well, and they look very, very grippy. So that's a nice combination of all-terrain and on-road performance. Look, I think this is easier than towing a caravan at the end of the day. You don't have to reverse park anything, which is always quite tricky. You do pay a bit of a penalty on fuel consumption, of course. This is averaging 14.4 to the 100. I'm sure that'll get a bit better on the open road. But the thing that is impressing me the most about this build is that I've got an entire house on the back of this car following me around, and I cannot hear a single thing rattling or squeaking or banging around in the back. The attention to detail is so impressive. They've just made sure that everything is locked down, everything's tight, everything's rubberized, everything has its place, nothing just bangs around the cabin at the back there. And that, for me, is one of the really, really impressive aspects of this build. And also the roof tents and everything's so well designed. There's no real increase in wind noise, which, you know, would drive you crazy on long distances. Now picture the scene. You've rolled up at your campsite and there's no shade. Well, Alu-Cab have thought of that, and it is a very innovative solution. So let me take you through it. We're just going to roll this in real time. This is the first time I'm doing this, so don't laugh too hard. Okay, this has to come out. Okay, I'm too short for this. That was actually quite straightforward. Okay, look at this. 270-degree awning. That is really, really cool. That is a very impressive amount of shade. Actually kind of changes the whole experience for me, actually. It makes it feel more homely. Each leg has a leg coming down, or each arm rather has a leg coming down, and there's guide ropes so you can knock them into the ground. And there's a little thing here which I'm too short to operate, which sort of pushes it up and creates tension on the awning. Now take a guess what that is. I'll give you a few seconds, and I'm almost certain that you're wrong. That is a fireplace, a gas-operated fireplace. Obviously, you don't want to throw logs of wood in there, and it's designed to heat up the whole cabin and the bed area when it's chilly outside. There's the controls for it, and it's fed from the gas outside, and there is the chimney which goes out through the bodywork and out the top with a little rainproof cover on it. That is pretty cool. So Alu-Cab will import that for you from the States and fit it to your overlanding vehicle. Introducing the Alu-Cab shower cube. Very cool innovation from Alu-Cab, and actually quite easy to use. Let me get out the way. Oh, maybe not in the wind, but you can tie it down. Look at that. Look at all that privacy. Anyone got a loofah? No? No one? Okay. It feels like I'm never going to run out of things to talk about on this vehicle. This is a can crusher. Not sure if it'll do like a food tin or something, but it will cope with a drinks can. Yeah! That was actually quite satisfying. Right, the captain's chair. Now this is the MD of Alu-Cab's actual personal car, so it does have some personal touches. They're probably not going to sell you a visor-mounted fishing lure arrangement. That's probably not in their catalog, but obviously this is how he likes his car. So standard Hilux interior with lots of things added. I really like this elbow rest. That suits me. I like driving like this. I like this a lot. I want one for my car, actually. Down here, this sort of very rugged covering for the center console, rugged seat coverings as well. He's added a tire pressure monitor. This is a magnetic thing for your cell phone. This is one of the more impressive things I've seen in a car lately. It's a movable rear view camera, because obviously you can't see nothing out the back of this thing with your house on the back. That's very cool, nice and wide as well. It feels like you can see around corners with that thing. You can even take photos with it. You can take a little snapshot. Very, very cool indeed. And then, of course, to communicate with all your mates when you're out in the middle of nowhere, lots of places to plug things in, and just overall, just a very practical interior. Again, this is not necessarily how they can spec your car. For instance, the owner has gone with a massive sound system, which I also really like, hidden underneath the passenger seat. Yeah, I think I could get used to this. I mean, look, I don't know if I daily something like this. I mean, it is quite inconvenient, right? For instance, you can't get into an underground parking lot, it's just too tall. You can't really get it into a normal garage space, it's just too tall. Very long vehicle as well, obviously. So it's a bit impractical for daily use. But I mean, as a weekend car, if adventuring is your thing, yeah, I don't think it gets too much better than this. Now, if you do like overlanding, go check out on our channel. We reviewed a massive 15-ton Iveco truck, which had been built by a South African family for exploring Africa. That's a good watch if you want to go have a look at that. Otherwise, we have over 535 videos on the channel. I'm sure you'll find something that you enjoy. Right, whack the like and subscribe button so you don't miss a thing, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Be safe out there. Look after yourselves. Cheers. Should have put the, oh my god, a gas strut again. Thanks very much for watching. If you've just watched this video but you haven't yet subscribed to our channel, you absolutely should do that immediately right now. Click the subscribe button. It's a good idea for a bunch of reasons which I actually don't have really a lot of time to go into, but it's good. It's a good idea. Excellent. Thanks for watching. I said that already.
Budget insurance. Affordable because you can't afford not to.